Hey everyone, welcome back to the fourth video in this series on retiring in Mexico City. If you're new here, I have already covered Mexico City, so kind of the visa, all of that stuff. And then I also did a deep dive into Condesa and Polanco. So this one, and then I have one more coming up. And be sure to watch that one because that is my top choice neighborhoods. But anyways, in this video, we're going to talk all about Roma Norte. It is very similar to Condesa, and it is kind of located right next door. So it is just a short walk from Condesa within close proximity to Historic Center. This neighborhood offers a unique blend of old world charm and modern conveniences. I think it makes it a very popular choice for both locals and expats. And I like it because it does have a lot more of that historic charm that you're going to see. So let's dive in and explore what makes Roma Norte a special place and a possible choice for your retirement. All right, so like I said in my other neighborhood videos, one, it was way too much to do in one oversweeping. Mexico City is a very large city. There's lots of neighborhoods, so many that I didn't include. I chose these four just in research. It seems like they're expat friendly, and some of them have the things that we're familiar with at home. So let's dive into the vibe of Roma Norte. So I would say it is a kind of more bohemian atmosphere. It just seems like it attracts more artists, young professionals, and expats. As you stroll through the streets, you're going to notice a mix of early 20th century mansions. They're so gorgeous. And modern buildings. And I think that blend creates a unique and engaging environment. It's not all glass and high rises like you might see in Polanco. So it's definitely got a nice mix here. One of the main thoroughfares, Avenida Alvaro Obregon, hopefully I'm close on that one, is lined with some of the best restaurants and cafes in the whole city. So whether you're grabbing a coffee at Chiquito Cafe or enjoying a seafood lunch at Contramar, there is no shortage of great dining options. Shopping in Roma Norte is equally diverse. It has some little local boutiques and markets offering everything from vintage clothing and handmade jewelry. Calle Colima, in particular, is a hot spot for unique finds. And just walking these streets, you get the architecture, the little shops. I love it. You're not going to find a Woolworth or an Office Depot here. It's much more boutique. It kind of goes back to that bohemian feel I was telling you about. I love it. And again, if you need an Office Depot, just jump on the metro or take an Uber. Anyways, okay. The architecture in Roma Norte, like I mentioned, is a beautiful mix of old and new. You will see Art Deco buildings right alongside contemporary structures, each adding to that neighborhood's distinct character. You can really tell, especially if you watch all my videos, hint, hint, please go watch them all, and subscribe while you're at it. You can really start to feel the differences in the neighborhoods when you see the housing options in Condesa and Polanco, and so I really like that about it. There are green spaces here. They're not as large as I've seen in Polanco or Condesa. Actually, one of them, Parque Mexico, actually borders both Condesa and Roma Norte. So we do have that one. The other one is Plaza Rio de Janeiro. So I should have done some more research before I started the video, but it has this huge replica of Michelangelo's David in the middle of a fountain. Anyways, but the little pathways and green spaces right in the middle of, the neighborhood, and there's plenty of houses that overlook it. And then there's another little park, Pushkin, and it's right at the end of Alvaro Obregon. This is much more like a playground and that kind of a park, but it is still a great place to walk your dogs. And like I said, I don't know that you could live here without having a dog. Everyone seems to have a dog. I love it. I absolutely love it. All right, Roma Norte is also very well connected. There are several metro stops like Insurgent and Sevilla nearby, and many bus routes. This makes getting around the city convenient and easy. And like I've said in the other videos, if you're trying to get somewhere during rush hour and you don't mind sitting in traffic, but you don't want to deal with the squash of people on the buses and metro, you can hop on an Uber at a very affordable price. All right, so let's get into the housing. I've talked a little bit about it. It does have a range of options, but you're going to find a lot more choices here in terms of those older buildings, buildings with character and architecture. There's still the modern apartments with all the latest amenities. For rentals, one-bedroom apartments here are going to typically cost around $800 to about $1,200 US dollars. And a two-bedroom is going to be around $1,200 to $2,000. So again, depending on what part of Mexico City, this can seem high. In terms of Condesa, Polanco, the neighborhoods I've been looking at, this is actually a little less expensive. If you're looking to buy, you really know that this is where you want to be. You're looking at anywhere from $150,000 to $300,000 for a two-bedroom. You can go all the way up to $500,000, just like anywhere. What you're going to get here is going to be very different than what you would get in the U.S. for that price, though. So something to consider. I think the mix of housing options make it very possible to find something that suits your budget and your lifestyle. Whether you enjoy the charm of the historic buildings or the conveniences of modern living, they do have both in Roma Norte and often right on the same street, right next to each other. All right, a little bit about pros and cons, because every neighborhood's got both, right? I think one of the pros is it is centrally located, so it is very easy to access other parts of this big, beautiful city via the metro, the bus, Uber, whatever. This is much more like Condesa in terms of its walkability. It's very walkable, tree-lined streets, well-maintained sidewalks, those huge paths that are in the middle of the street, like I was showing you before. Dining and shopping, huge range of restaurants, cafes, and unique shops. Again, you can go to other neighborhoods for the big box stores, but there's a lot of unique shops here. You can spend all weekend browsing. There's a lot of cultural attractions here. There's numerous art galleries, theaters, music venues, and they do have the green spaces. So lots of pros when looking at Roma Norte as a possible neighborhood to retire to. Cons, I am putting the cost of living, even though it is less expensive than the other neighborhoods I've looked at. There, like I said, Mexico City is very large, and there's lots of neighborhoods that you could go even lower. It really depends on what you value. I am looking for, I want safe, I want modern conveniences, I want close to attractions, I want walkability, want it all. So the cost of living here can be higher compared to other neighborhoods. Noise level, I don't know. I think I don't know if there's a neighborhood in Mexico City that doesn't have it. I'm sure there is somewhere, but this is a very active, community-oriented, lively place, and every neighborhood has a level of noise that is different than what I'm used to at home. Now, mind you, at home, I don't go out my front door and there's, churros on the street corner and musicians and all the dog walkers, and, it is a different lifestyle. So I don't know that it's a con, but sometimes when you're trying to fall asleep at night, it's something to consider. Traffic. Again, I could say this in every video, and I probably have, but big place, lots of people, there's going to be traffic. The subway is a little scary to me during rush hour. Sometimes you just cannot push your way out, and I have selected to take Ubers at that time if I'm traveling during that time, but when we're retired, we don't necessarily have to be on that time schedule. So, and then limited parking. I don't have a car here. I've been here for a month and haven't needed one, haven't missed one. Everything is so affordable and so accessible. But if you're living here and you want a car, I just know that there's really not a whole lot of parking. The street parking is limited, so that could be a potential drawback. All right. With all the neighborhoods I've looked at and all the ones I didn't have a chance to look at, each neighborhood, I think, in Mexico City has its unique appeal. Roma Norte is no exception. Even though it is not my top choice, it's getting close to it. Its mix of historic charm and modern conveniences, diverse dining and shopping options, and that strong sense of community makes it a very compelling choice for retirement. Thank you for joining me in exploring Roma Norte. Please take a minute to like this video, comment, what do you think? Am I way off base? What neighborhood would you have me go look at? As always, thank you so much for taking the time to watch my videos. See you in the next one.